and welcome to your Newsmax Now update. I'm John Bachman. The world continues to react today to news of a landmark nuclear deal hashed out over the weekend between Iran and other global powers. The deal represents a historic breakthrough in the decades-long nuclear standoff with Iran. But U.S. Secretary of State John Kerry has already been forced to defend the deal as bipartisan concern erupted over the terms of the 6-month agreement.
We will now be able to have greater inspection, greater knowledge, greater restraint, and that will expand the amount of time it would take for them to break out and create a nuclear weapon.
Meanwhile, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu is among those most concerned about the agreement. Here's what he had to say.
It's a historic mistake.
Netanyahu and others say the agreement, which will give Iran $7 billion in immediate financial relief, most of that through the opening of oil sales, will still allow the country to work on its nuclear material that could potentially be used for a bomb. That despite the fact that the agreement also requires Iran to destroy its current stockpile of weapons-grade uranium and will open up all of its facilities to inspectors daily. And President Obama's approval rating continues to plunge now to historic lows. According to a recent CBS News poll, Obama's approval rating has sunk to just 37%. The troubled rollout of Obamacare is cited as the main reason for the drop. Meanwhile, the president left D.C. and flew to some fundraising events out on the West Coast, but ticket sales to those public events have been so sluggish that organizers have been forced to slash ticket prices. Never a good sign there. And Russian President Vladimir Putin headed to Rome to meet with Pope Francis on Monday. The historic meeting comes only 4 years after full diplomatic ties were reestablished between Russia and the Holy See. Syria is expected to be the main topic of conversation. The two parties are allied on a non-military solution to the conflict in the region. Many are hopeful that the pair can also overlook historic differences between the Vatican and the Russian Orthodox Church and focus on this common point of connection. And investigators released a long-awaited report on the Sandy Hook shooting nearly 1 year after the massacre at the elementary school. The summary provides some of the first official answers to questions about the history of gunman Adam Lanza and the police response to the shooting. The report does not include, though, the full evidence file from Connecticut State Police. The decision to withhold that information, which is believed to be thousands of pages of evidence, has stirred some new criticism about the secrecy surrounding the investigation. And coming up next, an exclusive interview with Donald Trump. Hear what the Apprentice star would do to Martin Bashir in light of his controversial comments about Sarah Palin and slavery. Plus, it could be one of the messiest travel days on one of the busiest travel days of the year. A look ahead at a major storm that could impact your Thanksgiving travel plans. And welcome back. A potent storm that's already halted air traffic in Texas is threatening to do the same at some of the nation's busiest airports just as travelers head home for the Thanksgiving holiday. The storm is set to bring heavy snow to sections of the Mid-Atlantic and Northeast regions. It has already forced American Airlines to cancel nearly 1,000 flights at its Dallas-Fort Worth, Texas hub. And Donald Trump holds nothing back during an exclusive interview with Newsmax TV, saying that if he were in charge of MSNBC, he would tell host Martin Bashir that he is fired. Trump's comments come amid Bashir's incendiary remarks about Sarah Palin and slavery.
Well, he's a sleazebag. Everybody knows it. And, he's a lowlife. And that's the kind of thing he would say. He should be fired.
Of course, Trump's call to fire Bashir is significant because he is one of NBC's biggest stars. NBC and MSNBC, of course, are owned by the same parent company. And for more exclusive interviews and content, stay with Newsmax TV and Newsmax.com. I'm John Bachman.